chaotic, and it has changed my life. I'm a fan of his ever since. I love this collection. Of his most legendary supermodels and more. The four queens of the runway. Fashion, New York Fashion Week is right around the corner. Librarian tonight, and that's because I came to read a bitch. Jaja's Atelier, bitch. Welcome back to another episode of Jaja's Atelier, guys. I'm almost at episode 30. I'm really excited. I didn't think I would keep it going this long. I kind of had a little bit of self-doubt. It's good to be back. We got a whole lot to cover, honey, with these Grammy Awards. There was a whole lot of shit going on. So let's just jump straight into it. I want to start with the red carpet. Now, for the past few years now, the Grammys, they're just not what they used to be. Maybe it's just me getting old. I didn't hardly know any other artists, the new artists that were nominated. So let's just get into the looks, honey. So for starters, my first favorite look from the Grammy Awards red carpet, I had to give it to Summer Walker. I can't remember who she's wearing, but this just looks so angelic. And it also had like that bit of like R&B, hip hop, soul flavor to it with the hat. I love this look on her. So gorgeous. So gorgeous. I love that she was more covered up. This is a different side of Summer Walker. I really enjoyed this look. I really, really did. God, all those feathers. Shout out to whoever designed that. I'll post it on my stories tomorrow. But yeah, this look is everything. Also, we had the beautiful Janelle Monáe wearing custom Armani Privé. Honey, when I saw this, I gagged. It was just so form-fitting to the body, just tailored to perfection. I have to give Janelle Monáe best glam. I love the hair. I love the makeup. Yes. I also like what she wore to the Clive Davis party the night before, which that Clive Davis party has a lot of ghosts flying around it, so I didn't want to cover that. But anyway, rest in peace, Whitney Houston. No shade to Clive, but I'm just saying. Yeah, I love this look on her. I love the short hair again. So beautiful. Next, second to the best, I have Dua Lipa in this beautiful courage look. You know what? I have money, but I don't have to flaunt it, but this cost me a grip. I liked it. I liked the little side cutout detail. I'm not crazy about her as a redhead, though. I have to say that. I would have loved to see her with the hair longer and more of a darker color. I'm not crazy about her with the red hair, but I love this look. I also love that Tiffany & Co. necklace that she had on. Oh my God, that was just a massive piece of fucking jewelry. I'm not sure if that's archive or not, but it definitely looks historic. It looks like it's a museum piece. I just thought the necklace just really tied it all in. And for first place, a lot of people didn't like the look. I personally loved Victoria Monet. Put that on my own mama, on my hood. Yes, honey. I love that her and her daughter had a matching outfit. Her husband looks very, very handsome. Her husband he's squirp delicious, honey. Very, very handsome couple and beautiful family she has. She also won, I believe she won for Best New Artist. So huge congratulations to her. I've seen some of her performances on YouTube, and honey, she's definitely one of the last of a dying breed who can sing and put on a show. She's a real showgirl. So if you're not familiar with Victoria Monet, because I wasn't. I had to really look, search her up, really find out who she was. But I've been hearing her name all year. I've been hearing her music all year. I just wasn't really sure what it was given. It's one thing to hear somebody's song on TikTok, but then it's another thing to see them actually perform and really give their all. So it well deserves. Huge congratulations to her. I just thought, I love the dress. It was custom Versace. I thought it really gave, again, it was just a nod to the good old days of high class R&B where the ladies were really ladies and the men were really gentlemen. I miss those days, Yeah, I liked that look on her. I really did. You can't go wrong with Versace. I mean, I'm sorry. I loved it. Anyway. Now, I normally don't do worst dressed. A lot of people are going to disagree with me. But as far as the red carpet goes, Miley Cyrus, I did not get it. She's wearing Mason Margiela. I love the look. It's just not a good match for the hair and the makeup. It was like, ooh, girl. But Miley definitely redeemed herself. She wore a plethora of looks last night during the awards ceremony. And my favorite look of all during the performances has to be the 2002 archive Bob Mackie dress that she wore when she performs. Now, this dress, honey, she needs an award just for wearing this dress, honey. Miley is a fashion girl. She might be a little rough around the edges, but she's definitely a fashion girl. She understands fashion. I just didn't like I love the look on the red carpet. I just didn't like the hair with it. But I love it all together with this Bob Mackie. So gorgeous. And her body, she can wear anything. Excuse me, y'all. I'm not feeling well today. I'm trying to power through. Honey, I spent the entire weekend in the motherfucking bed. Do you hear me? I am like, and it's all up in here. Ugh. Anyway, so aside from that, there were a couple of moments. Huge shout out to SZA. She won a Grammy. But okay, let's talk about this first before we go into Jay-Z. Let's talk about Killer Mike. I'm not familiar with Killer Mike either. Again, I'm old. I like what I like, and I don't really like change a whole lot, so I don't tend to listen to the new artists. But Killer Mike won 3 Grammys last night. He's a rapper. I'm not sure where he's from. But upon winning his awards after, he was arrested and paraded around the entire stadium like a zoo animal. I have one question for this. Where the hell was all this when Will Smith got up there and slapped Chris Rock? Now, authorities spoke to TMZ, and they said this. They said that the altercation had something to do with him and a security guard. But they didn't have to. This man is a Grammy award-winning artist. And yes, I'm all for holding people accountable. But they didn't have to parade that man. Look at this. They didn't have to parade that man around like that. They did not have to parade that. Now, I don't know the full story. I don't know what he said or what else transpired. But it's just not they might think it's not a good look on him, but Grammys, it's really not a good look on you. Or whoever is in charge of your security. Whoever is in charge of your security team for the night of the Grammys, they need to be fired. Because you embarrassed this man. And if it's something as simple over a scuffle with security, that happens all the time. Again, where was all this when Will Smith smacked the shit out of Chris Rock? Come on now. Which leads me to my next Grammy debacle. So Jay-Z won the Dr. Dre's Global Impact Award, and he expressed he defended his wife Beyonce and called out the Grammys for her being the most awarded Grammy artist of all time, but never having won Album of the Year, which she lost to. Was she nominated for Album of the Year this year? I'm not sure, but Taylor Swift won Album of the Year this year again, for the 4th time, and Jay-Z had this to say.
It's subjective because, it's music and it's opinion based, but, some things, I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year. So even by your own metrics, that doesn't work. Think about that. The most Grammys, never won Album of the Year. That doesn't work.
Now, okay, so a lot of people, a couple of my followers on Instagram, I always want feedback from you guys through Instagram or even on here. What do you want to hear about? So this story came to me via Instagram. Oh, I feel like I have to sneeze. Oh my God, guys, bear with me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm an ugly sneezer, so excuse me. Oh my goodness. So the story came to me in my DMs, and this is what I think. Kanye told us this almost 20 years ago, back in 2009. And when Kanye did it, and I was having this conversation earlier this weekend with my mom, because me and my brother are like two polar opposites. Like, I just give it to you raw. And he's more like even keeled and calm in his delivery, and my delivery is kind of rough. But I told my mom, I said, sometimes, we have to ignore the delivery sometimes and really listen to the content of what the person is saying. Because after Kanye West, even though the way he did it was kind of fucked up, although she's been riding that wave her whole career. Talented, yes. Is she riding that wave? Absolutely. I say it all the time. We need to listen to what he said. Kanye said it 9 years ago, almost 20 years ago in 2009 at the VMAs. And Beyonce and Jay-Z kind of left him out in the cold. Beyonce is a huge supporter of Taylor Swift. I was also asked if I thought that Beyonce kind of felt a way about it. I can't believe she's never won for Album of the Year. Dangerously in Love didn't win for Album of the Year? Really? And to answer that question, yeah, I think she feels a way about it. It's quite obvious she feels a way about it because her husband said something about it. Do I think she should feel a way about it? No, because everybody knows who the better talent is. And unfortunately, in this world that we live in a world of comparisons. I remember when Beyonce first hit the scene with Crazy in Love, and it reminded everybody of Tina Turner, the way she used to dance and strut that leg out, and people were like, "Oh my God, she's the next Tina Turner." People were saying that, but it hits different when it's a white black comparison. I don't like that. And quite honestly, the Grammys have got it wrong so many times. Let's keep it real. In the history of the category, only 3 black women have won Album of the Year. In the entire 66 years of the Grammys, only 3 black women have won Album of the Year. Want to know who they are? Well, Natalie Cole, I believe she was the first. Whitney Houston was the second for The Bodyguard. And the last black woman to win Album of the Year was back in 1999, Lauryn Hill, for the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. It's over 25 years a black woman has not won Album of the Year. Now, within those 25 years, we have had several iconic albums from Beyonce. We've had albums from the greats, Aretha Franklin. We've had albums from gospel greats, Mary. We've had albums from other albums from Whitney Houston in that time that could have won. We've had Mariah Carey. We've had, oh my God, I could go on and on and on. So to my black entertainers, again, it's their award show. They predict, they make the decisions, they allegedly vote on it. So this is what I propose. Let's start making a bigger deal out of our award shows. Let's start pulling out of these things. If they're not giving us the accolades that we know that these artists deserve, let's start pulling out. We did it once with the BET Awards, to the point where the BET Awards was at one time the biggest award show on television. It can be that again. We've let some of the powers that be enter the BET space and turn it into something that it was never meant to be. And Beyonce and a lot of these other black artists who have made it to that crossover space. You guys, the last time I remember Beyonce being at the BET Awards is when she performed with Kendrick Lamar. And that was in the Formation days, I believe. She performed that song Freedom with Kendrick. And she didn't even stay long. She wasn't even there for the whole award show. But I understand why Beyonce was not there. Look at what the BET Awards has turned into. That's not her brand. Ratchet has never been Beyonce's brand. It's not Rihanna's brand. It's not Nicki's brand. Well, I take that last one back. I mean, they even did, and Nicki right now is not my favorite person because I feel like she's way better than the bullshit. She's still going on with her shit. But they also shaded the hell out of Nicki, announcing that her and Ice Spice won the Grammy and then took it right back. You knew that girl didn't win that award. That was somebody, whoever's in charge of y'all's Twitter account, again, that's somebody else that needs to be fired. Because it makes you, the Grammy Academy, the Music Academy, or whatever they call it, it makes you look a little suspect. That's a big error to make. Especially with somebody who you don't have the best history with. Now, that was me sticking up for Nicki Minaj now. Barbs, don't come after me. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I think about it. We're in a space where Hollywood, it seems as if Hollywood is whitewashing the situation. There's a lot of black TV shows that have been canceled. It's a lot of artists that need recognition that aren't getting any. They've just pulled all the music. Universal just pulled all the music off of TikTok, which affects black artists because our shit is the shit that goes viral, that everybody starts to dance to. And that's how a lot of these new artists who don't get the attention from mainstream media sell records. So now we have to turn the microscope on ourselves and make our own niche for ourselves and make it a little more broad. Make it a little more eclectic. It doesn't have to be ratchet all the time. There's some black people that don't fuck with that shit. I don't blame Beyonce for not going to the BET Awards. Hell, I ain't nobody and I wouldn't go. They could send me an invitation right now. If they're gonna have people like Lil Boosie and all of that there, no thanks. No thanks. It is what it is, And then you guys really look crazy again with this Killer Mike situation. Like, come on. Don't play in people's face like we don't see what the fuck is going on here. Come on. Come on. As my dad used to say, come on. We as a people need to stop depending on the outside to give us and our people and our entertainers the kudos that they deserve. Sometimes they get it right, but most of the times they don't. Also, speaking of the Grammys, it was so good. Now, mind you guys, I watched the whole award show last night. I haven't watched the Grammys. I was so bored. I didn't know who the hell was who. I was bored. But I tell you, I jumped up out of my bed when Fantasia jumped on that screen to pay tribute to Tina Turner. That voice, honey, she brought the motherfucking house down. But it was also good to see Celine Dion. I love Celine Dion. I grew up on Celine Dion. My parents are fans of Celine Dion. And a few months ago, it's probably almost a year now, she was diagnosed with something called stiff person's disease, which if I understand correctly, kind of limits your mobility. I guess the name is pretty self-explanatory, but it was so good to see her up on stage. She brought stylish La Roche out of retirement. He styled her. I believe she's wearing Valentino. Yeah, it was good to see her. She looks well. That's another iconic voice. I can't believe it. I don't think she's ever won Album of the Year, I don't think. Has she? She had to have. Oh, come on. I'm going to have to find that out. But anyway, Also, so this is the last bit of Grammy news, and this is really not Grammy news, but it's kind of all tied in. It is the end of an era for Real Housewives of Atlanta, honey. Candy Burst announced on the red carpet last night. Jason Lee got the exclusive from Hollywood Unlocked. I don't agree with everything that Jason Lee does, but he's definitely good for picking up the Taha he, honey, and he will get it to you, whether it's good or bad, okay? He does not care. He is all for a moment. But he definitely got the scoop with Candy. She revealed that she will not be returning to the Real Housewives of Atlanta after 14 seasons. What do I think about this? I think Atlanta needs a shakeup. Real Housewives of Atlanta is looking real love and hip hop right now. I don't know who the hell them women are. Aside from Candy, Kenya, and Marlo. Excuse me, y'all. Aside from Candy, Kenya, and Marlo, I don't know who the other bitches are. Drew Sidora, yeah. We could do without Drew Sidora. And her weird ass husband. That man is weird. Candy, I will say this about Candy. Candy took that 14 seasons and flipped it and changed the whole narrative of her career. I have never, like, the way she just turned everything that they threw at her on that show into a business venture. The candy coated sex toys, you know, the writing of the music, the dungeon tour, you know, to now being a Tony Award nominated playwright on Broadway, to roles in the Shy, to, you know, revamping Escape. I mean, none of that would have had that whole Escape thing would have happened without Candy and Tiny too. They're the most famous out of the four. But yeah, I think I don't blame her. What else can she possibly give? We don't want to see Mama Joyce fighting with Todd anymore. She gets along with pretty much everybody on the show except for Marlo, but who the hell gets along with her ass anyway? And I like Marlo. She's good for the show, but I mean, Andy Cohen, I don't know. I think you need a whole new batch of housewives. Either a whole new batch of housewives or bring back all the OGs. I want Nene, Kenya, Phaedra. Please, since Candy's gone, put Phaedra back on there. Because she damn sure don't know what the hell she's doing over there on Married to Medicine and her and that phantom man she got. Bring all the OGs back. We don't need Big Nose Sheree, though. In the words of Nene. You and Big Nose Sheree. We don't need Big Nose Broke Sheree back. She is, honey, Sheree is the definition of stunt queen. We don't need her back. Give her a coin, but we don't need her back. Let her executive produce something. Because we don't need Sheree back. That's just a hot ass mess. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. The only franchise that I'm still interested in, like, currently, Potomac, we're 13 episodes in, honey, and I don't see no spark, like, nowhere. We're tired of talking about Robin and Juan. The only ones that I'm really interested in is Beverly Hills, and even they are giving me a little bit of a snooze fest. We need Lisa Rinna back. We definitely need Lisa Rinna back. Ooh. But yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with Real Housewives of Atlanta. Take a whole year off and figure out what y'all going to do. Now, when they were talking to Candy about it, Candy said, listen, it's no ill feelings between her and Bravo. They have some upcoming projects, but she said they had them waiting around for a while. And she was like, listen, first come, first serve. She had other offers and they were taking too long. So she decided she's not coming back. We've literally watched her child grow up on that show. All of her children have grown up on that show. Good for you, Candy. Get out on a high note. I'm with her on this, and I love her on the show. But yeah, I think she made the right decision. Atlanta doesn't. The Real House. She doesn't need Real Housewives of Atlanta anymore. They need her more than anything. And even with that, it's like, do they really? What can she possibly give? She's given them everything. Anyway, so that's all for the Grammys recap. What else do we have? Oh, so great news for legendary Italian fashion house Moschino. After the untimely death of Davide Rene, who unfortunately passed away 9 days after being announced as the new creative director coming in after Jeremy Scott stepped down. They have finally announced a new creative director. His name is Adrian Apolazza. Apoliaza? I know I screwed that up. I'm sorry. I'm sick, Adrian. Please forgive me if you see this. He has over 10 years in the game experience. He's worked with J.W. Anderson, and he's also worked at the House of Chloe. I've checked out his personal style. I definitely think he is animated and dramatique enough for the House of Moschino. Moschino is very animated. So after looking at his Instagram, I've never personally heard of him before, but I think he could definitely do the job. They wouldn't ask him if they didn't think he could do it. Now, the talent is there, but the question is, does the creative director's vision for the house match with the legacy of the house? And that's always a toss-up. But I think he's gonna wow us just by looking at him and just getting different notes of his personality through his Instagram, what I could gather. I think he's gonna knock it out of the park. I have a good feeling about this one. I had a good feeling about Mr. Rene as well, but unfortunately that was just crazy. Rest in peace, Davide Rene. And huge congratulations to Adrian Apoliaza. Maybe that's how you pronounce it. So we'll see what happens. They said that his first collection will be debuting during the upcoming Milan Fashion Week. Guys, it's almost New York Fashion Week. New York Fashion Week starts Friday. But Marc Jacobs, you know, he always goes against the grain. He's kicked it off a little early with the show last week. A lot of people were saying, I did a poll of what people thought. The minute I saw the collection, I said, oh, people are going to be talking shit. They're not going to get it. It was kind of like this, it kind of gave like this paper doll cutout kind of effect, the silhouette of the clothes. But I liked it. I really liked it. I don't think it's anything that a lot of the pieces, I would only style somebody in them for editorial purposes. But some of the pieces, like there was one shirt that kind of looked, I thought it was the girl's body, the way it looked. Everything just looked very paper dollish. But it was like a bikini printed on a body on a t-shirt. I liked that. A lot of the stuff you could wear out, but for the most part, I don't want to see y'all going down and buying this unless you're doing a shoot. Sorry, I'm so stuffy, guys. But isn't it amazing how I could look so good but still feel so bad? Ooh. You know, I went back to the long hair today. I decided to give you some Cher, a little Kim K. Why not? Anyway. So, but I like the collection. Somebody in my, when I did the poll, somebody in my responded to the story in my poll and was like, I don't get it. And I was like, well, you know what? I appreciate people that say they don't get it instead of just saying that's ugly and being all ignorant and shit, you know, because that's the way of the world. That's the world we're living in. If we don't understand it, banished. So I appreciated that. A lot of people said that, but I like it. Huge congratulations to Marc Jacobs. So this next story really, really hurts me. And I don't even need my notes for this. So after almost a year of not being seen, Lifetime and Wendy Williams debuted the trailer for her upcoming documentary entitled Where is Wendy Williams? In the documentary, I'm not going to show the... I don't support this documentary. In the documentary, Wendy is seen looking less than pleasant. I'm sorry, guys. This is just really sad. Because I'm a huge fan of Wendy. I grew up on Wendy Williams. We're both from Jersey. We're both really tall, two loudmouth Jersey girls. She reminds me a lot of my dad's mom. And my dad's mom and I were really close, and she ended up having a stroke when I was about 10 or 11. And I remember seeing her for the first time in the hospital and just, you know, so to see Wendy like this, I don't want to show that. She also talks about her money troubles. Her family is in the documentary. She has a lot of handlers around her. Um, a lot of people were making fun of the documentary, were making fun of the way she looked, saying that this is her karma for talking shit about so many people for so long. Um, I heard what Charlemagne had to say, and the world wouldn't know you, Charlemagne, if it wasn't for Wendy. And I fuck with Charlemagne, and I respect Charlemagne. Charlemagne is a genius at what he does, partially because of Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams is an icon. Wendy Williams, again, you might not like the delivery, but let's revisit some of her old interviews and some of her old radio tapings on WBLS and Hot 97. A lot of what she said in the past that got her in a lot of trouble turned out to be true, and I'm not going to name no names. Y'all already pretty much know who we're talking about, and it's several people. There's a whole lot of artists whose records were banned from being played that Wendy stuck her neck out for and lost her job for because she believed in those artists and she believed in hip hop. She believed in supporting black talent, even though in the same breath she would really rip them a new asshole. I can't think of any other black female shock jock in her category. She's the queen of all media. I remember her husband opening up a store in Jersey, in the town that I lived in, and just seeing her and just being like, wow, you know. It was called The Heat, and they used to sell like sports apparel. That's back when the throwback jerseys and the fitteds and the Izuvu jeans or whatever they used to be called. You know, that's when all that shit was really popping. And they had a store right up the street and around the corner from my house. I love Wendy Williams, and she deserves better than this. Um, the people that say she deserves this, fuck y'all. That's really nasty. I can think of a few times when Wendy did fuck up. I remember that whole thing with Method Man's wife. You know, she was fucked up for that. It was fucked up. You know, but Wendy was about doing whatever she had to do to get where she wanted to go. And sometimes it's not always nice. Some people do it behind the scenes and it come out later. And some people just upfront with the shit. Wendy was just one of those that was upfront with the shit. And for real, all of y'all that are out here talking about her and dogging her, y'all been dogging her for years, and she don't give a fuck. Might I remind you of the Judge Mathis interview? She does not care what you say about her. Let's be clear. Even if she does, we would never know. Wendy has no shame. She owns every part of herself. She owns all of her flaws. And that's one thing that I love about Wendy Williams. Listening to Wendy Williams embrace everything that people used to make fun of her for really gave me inspiration to embrace the flaws or what other people told me was flaws in me. And helped me realize that they're not flaws. They're the things that make you you. Also, Black China, fuck you for being a part of this. There was a scene I saw. We have never seen Wendy Williams without a wig on. You know that woman never wanted to be seen on TV without a wig on, with her hair looking like that. And for you, Black China, to sit up there and be a part of that just goes to show how disgusting you really are. I think everybody involved in this is taking advantage of Wendy. That's my first thought. My second thought is, ain't nothing really wrong with Wendy. She just ain't trying to pay Kevin. That's my second thought. There's a part of me that feels like it might not be anything wrong with Wendy. Wendy is like, I'm not paying this motherfucker nothing, and whatever I have to do not to pay him anything, that's what the fuck I'm gonna do. But I heard other people saying that, and I was like, that could be true, but I don't think so. I think Wendy needs help. I think Wendy Williams needs the right people around her. And I think that Wendy Williams is also a national treasure. She's a part of history. She's a part of hip hop history. She's a part of history and black entertainment. Whether you like her or not, a lot of you entertainers that are on here talking shit about her wouldn't be here without her and her big ass Jersey mouth. Her big ass, unapologetic Jersey mouth. You wouldn't be here. There would be no Shade Room. There would be no Hollywood Unlocked. Fox Soul. TGIF. She paved the way for the urban podcasters. She paved the way for the urban bloggers. She's the mother of all this shit here. So those of you who are involved in this, shame on you. How dare you? And somebody needs to call him on it. Because it just breaks my heart to see her like this. It really does. It's sad. It's just how you can just sit there and take advantage of somebody who has made history and paved the way for so many and just treat them like this. Damn, Lifetime. Damn. I don't give a damn if she came up there and gave you the tape herself. You should have been like, no, we can't do this to you, Wendy. We love you and respect you too much. She's worked over there at Lifetime. Come on now. Come on. Anyway, I love you, Wendy, and I'm praying that one day we will see you back on top. It's just really sad. Anyway, I didn't mean to get real mushy, but y'all know I love... How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? You guys know I love Wendy Williams. And one of my friends sent me I didn't even know that she had a documentary coming till a couple days ago. One of my friends sent it to me. And I was like, they was like, girl, you're not going to like this. I know you're going to talk about it on Jaja's Atelier. You ain't going to like this, but here you go. How you doing? I love Wendy. I miss her on TV. And fuck everybody that's involved in making this documentary. Because come on. Come on. Anyway, guys. So, again, Friday, on a lighter note, because I'm about to cry. Friday is the start of New York Fashion Week. I'm going to be here all week. I'm going to be here all month because it's going to be jam-packed. Hopefully I can get over this cold in the next couple of days and give y'all what y'all need, honey. All the shits and giggles and fashions from New York to London to Milan to Paris. I'm here for it all, honey. So anyway, I will see you guys on episode 30 of Jaja's Atelier in a few days. Ciao. Pray for me that I feel better, Lord. Ugh.